Hello, hi everyone. Hi. My name is Cynthia, and I would like to welcome everyone to Emmanuel College's Wednesday gathering. This week, we're delighted to have Jeanette Unger here with us today as we explore eco-spirituality, reflective mindfulness with the theme of healing gardens. We also have Buddhist, Christian, and Muslim readings by Daisy Lynn, Carly Jazbek, and Motahari Navabi Niachi. As a community of people from diverse cultural and religious backgrounds, we are aware there are people represented here from different religious traditions. And there are people here who have other faith identities. It is also important to us that everyone feels welcome and free to participate or refrain from participating, however you feel most comfortable. Every week we have people visiting this chapel who have not been here before. It takes courage to show up, to try something new. So welcome, newcomers, and we thank you for sharing your time with us and showing up. If for whatever reason you feel uncomfortable or wish to step out of the space, we invite you to do so. If after stepping out you wish to return to the gathering, of course you're very welcome. It should be noted that chapel gatherings at Emmanuel constitute an opportunity for students to explore their own gifts and theologies of ritual and worship leadership. As such, there will of necessity be some experimentation and risk-taking. We invite an attitude of generosity and on the part of all, and celebrate what may feel like failures as well as successes. If you have any questions or concerns during or after our gathering, or would like to provide us with feedback on how you experience this next hour, please feel free to speak with David over here, Wayne, back there in the back, and or any member of the spiritual life team if you guys want to wave your hands. Yes. Thank you again for joining us as we learn, explore, and experience the sacred together. Also, if you haven't chosen an object from the table, I invite you to do that now rather than later. It will be part of a nice activity later, so choose wisely. And I'd like to bring Leslie over to do the land acknowledgement.
Good afternoon. So this gathering, we have a special land acknowledgement, so it might sound a little different from the typical one, but I invite you just take a moment and settle into this space and situate ourselves on the land. And so we bring our minds first to the east, where the sun rises is the Don Valley, part of Toronto's amazing ravine system. The Don is filled with sumac and aster, foxes and rabbits, blue jays and cardinals. Despite the challenges of urbanization, the landscape of the Don Valley is slowly being regenerated and revitalized. To the south lies the Great Lake, which is Lake Ontario. The lake is home to all sorts of fish, trout, bass, pike, and salmon. This lake provides drinking water to over 9 million people. And although it is the smallest of the Great Lakes, more Canadians live in the Ontario watershed than in any other watershed in the country. And bringing our minds to the west, where the sun sets, is Philosopher's Walk, a paved walkway which follows the ancient path of Tattle Creek. Tattle Creek was buried and paved over during Toronto's industrial era, and today, 14 red oaks grace that pathway, which is a memorial to the 14 women who were killed in the Montreal Massacre. Bring our minds to the north. Just outside these windows, We can see hoarding around the trees, the protective fencing. This tiny piece of land, lawn, and sidewalk is being reclaimed as an Indigenous healing garden. And this will grow into a space for reflection, truth, and reconciliation, and learn about Indigenous traditions and stewardship of the land. And so, with all of this in mind, we acknowledge and respect all of these places as sacred land, including the land on which Victoria University operates. This land is territory of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. The territory was a subject of the Dish with One Spoon Walking Belt Covenant, an agreement between the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe nations to peaceably share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. Today, Toronto is still the home to many Indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island, and we are encouraged to continually strengthen our relationships amongst all living beings and with this land.
Thank you, Leslie, and I just wanted to thank Jeanette for sending us that land acknowledgement. It's very beautiful and say one of the most personal ones I've heard. Next, we have a few readers, student readers, who will be sharing from their faith tradition. And we're starting with Daisy Lynn.
Hi. This is an excerpt from the Book of Psalms, chapter 65, and it's a passage that describes in beautiful language the precision and the effort and care with which our Creator loves our earth and cares for our earth and the ground beneath our feet. I'll be reading from the newly revised standard version, and it starts a little bit later, from verse 5. By awesome deeds you answer us with deliverance, O God of our salvation. You are the hope of all the ends of the earth and of the farthest seas. By your strength you establish the mountains. You are girded with might. You silence the roaring of the seas, the roaring of their waves, the tumult of the peoples. Those who live at earth's farthest bounds are awed by your signs. You make the gateways of the morning and the evening shout for joy. You visit the earth and water it. You greatly enrich it. The river of God is full of water. You provide the people with grain, for so you have prepared it. You water its furrows abundantly, settling its ridges, softening it with showers, and blessing its growth. You crown the year with your bounty. Your wagon tracks overflow with richness. The pastures of the wilderness overflow. The hills gird themselves with joy. The meadows clothe themselves with flocks. The valleys deck themselves with grain. They shout and sing together for joy. This is the word of the Lord. Now I'd like to invite Motahari to come up for our next reading.
Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be doing a reading by Rumi, who is a famous Muslim mystic poet. And the poem is called A Garden Beyond Paradise. And it's a poem which beautifully evokes images of the garden from which we all draw our source, the garden of our origin and our return, which is an ever-present and accessible source that we can draw upon even from this worldly realm, and which we return to upon our dying, and we continue to flourish within eternally. A garden beyond paradise. Everything you see has its roots in the unseen world. The forms may change, yet the essence remains the same. Every wondrous sight will vanish, every sweet word will fade. But do not be disheartened. The source they come from is eternal, growing, branching out, giving new life and new joy. Why do you weep? That source is within you, and this whole world is springing up from it. The source is full, its waters are ever flowing. Do not grieve, drink your fill. Don't think it will ever run dry. This is the endless ocean. From the moment you came into this world, a ladder was placed in front of you that you might escape. From earth you became a plant, from plant you became animal. Afterwards you became a human being, endowed with knowledge, intellect, and faith. Behold the body born of dust, how perfect it has become. Why should you fear its end? When were you ever made less by dying? When you pass beyond this human form, no doubt you will become an angel and soar through the heavens. But don't stop there. Even heavenly bodies grow old. Pass again from the heavenly realm and plunge into the vast ocean of consciousness. Let the drop of water that is you become 100 mighty seas. But do not think that the drop alone becomes the ocean. The ocean, too, becomes the drop. Thank you, and now I call upon Carly.
Hi everyone, I'll be sharing a poem by Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh from his book Call Me By My True Names, and I chose to share this today because it reminds me of the sacred responsibility we have to care for both ourselves and one another, and to also notice the beauty and vitality that is present alongside decay. So, you are my garden. A tree is dying in my garden. You see it, but you also see other trees that are still vigorous and joyful. And I am thankful. I know a tree is dying in my garden, but I do not see it as the whole of my garden. And I need you to remind me of that. I am told to take care of the garden left to me by my ancestors. A garden always has beautiful trees and others that are not so healthy. That is the reason why we have to take good care of it. You are my garden, and I know that I should practice as a gardener. I have seen an old untended garden where the cherry and peach trees still bloom wonderfully and always in time. Thank you.
Clusters of crocus, purple and gold, blankets of pansies up from the coast. Berries and iris, safe from the chill, safe in
Thanks, guys. That was really beautiful. So next I'd like to introduce Jeanette Unger. She's an associate chaplain with the Ecumenical Chaplaincy at the University of Toronto. This chaplaincy is rooted in the United and Presbyterian Church tradition to provide support to the whole university community. From the prairies, Jeanette moved to Ontario, first to Waterloo and then to Toronto for university. Jeanette graduated almost 20 years ago with an MTS degree here at Emmanuel College. In her free time, Jeanette enjoys going for walks, making banana muffins, and hanging out with her kids, and sometimes spending too much time on Instagram. Okay, welcome, Jeanette.
Thank you. It is, just thank you. It is a very beautiful space to be in today, and I just feel grateful for everyone who is present in this space with me. And I want to offer a thanks before I continue to the Spiritual Life team. They've brought their creativity and insight and skills, so it's been a real pleasure to work with them to shape this afternoon's gathering. So I am a chaplain, and I joke that I have the best job around, and you can arm wrestle me for that and I'll win. But I do many, many amazing things on campus, and one of the things that I have really enjoyed over the years has been working with undergraduate students. So working with undergrads of different faith, ethical, religious, and spiritual traditions to plan events around ecology and spirituality. So we've held art shows, student art shows at the Multi-Faith Center. We've attended climate change rallies. We've heard from Indigenous knowledge keepers. We've gone for guided contemplative tree walks. We've written nature poetry together, and we've held panel discussions on stewardship and Abrahamic traditions, among many other things that we've done. And students are amazing. Undergrads are amazing because they come with so much passion to make the world a better place. And they know the science, and they know that the world we're living in terms of our climate and species extinction, hurricanes, floods, fires, they know that we're kind of in a climate crisis, and yet they're committed to showing up and to doing something. And what's beautiful is that they want to do something that grows not just from science and from head knowledge, but also from our spirits and from our hearts and from the resourcing that our faith provides. So this afternoon's activity grows out of some of the work that I have done with undergrads on ecology and spirituality. And I invite you to just engage as is possible for you today with a spirit of curiosity and compassion and connection. One other thing, tiny thing about me is that I oversubscribe to newsletters and Substacks. So my inbox is completely filled of unread newsletters, except there's a few that I read very faithfully, and one of them is by Caitlin Curtice, who is a Potawatomi Indigenous writer from upstate New York. And she had a beautiful email series this summer called 5 Mother Earth Practices for summer 2024. And her very first practice to her readers was to practice holistic connection to the earth, to the land, to the trees, to the animals, to the water, to the fire. And that we let our connection to the earth then shape our politics, shape how we live sustainably, shape how we make decisions and our social dynamics, but we begin with our connection to the earth. So that's what we're going to explore together this afternoon. Caitlin Curtice talked about how capitalism and sort of extractive consumerism really give us a sense of being other and separate from the earth, that we're quite closed off from our connection and our relationship. And so healing that connection is essential, that we want to create some sacred space and take time and energy to open ourselves again to our connection to the earth and to the land, and find places, again, where we're open And that is a place of healing, and that's a place of reciprocity and a place of care. And she continues her newsletter. It's really beautiful. But she encourages people to do that by doing art, by talking to trees, by writing love letters. So we're going to just explore some of this together this afternoon. So firstly, I hope that you all have a gift from the earth. And if not, there's a bunch at the table in the back. These, I'm going to call them gift from the earth, and I may refer to it as a pine cone, but you are holding, just substitute your gift for mine. These were all collected with gratitude. So my kids and I went finding them on bike paths and on sidewalks, and I think Leslie's parrot donated some feathers, some bright red feathers. So all of these gifts were collected with love and gratitude for their presence in our space today too, because they are also bringing their wisdom with us. So if you don't have one, find yourself a gift from the earth. So this afternoon, we're going to move from sort of exploring our individual connection. We're going to share with each other, and then we're going to end by acknowledging the fact that we all share one earth. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a circle of rocks here, and we're going to close by creating art together. So first, your gift from the earth, your pine cone. We're going to spend some time in silence, you and your gift, just getting to know it. You might want to ask it to introduce itself to you. You might want to use your senses. What does it look like? Feel like? Smell like? Does it have a sound? Does your gift from the earth, your pine cone or rock or feather, does it connect you to other places or to other people? Does it connect you to stories and experiences? You might want to just thank it. You might have some questions for your pine cone or your rock. You might want to talk to it. Ask its gift about its presence with you and its own story in your life. So we'll give about 3 minutes, just mindfully, gently, lovingly getting to know your gift from the earth. So some of you may want to stay in this space of lovingly connecting to your gift from the earth. And I invite you, if that's where you're at, to continue. But for some, I think there are pencils and paper. You may want to spend some time using your pen and paper to continue reflecting. So you could draw your gift or trace it, put it in a scene if you'd like, or you could write a love poem, write a love letter to your pine cone or to your feather or to your rock. You may want to, one of the things that we've done in ecology and spirituality is a poetry prompt, is to say, the pine cone in me knows, or the leaf in me knows, the rock, the branch, the feather in me knows. So you may want to spend some time just writing. How would you write about it? Or maybe you just want to imagine a conversation that you and your pine cone or your rock are having. How would you talk together, you and your pine cone? So you're welcome to take it with pencil and paper and be creative, or just, again, continue to sit in loving awareness. There's a beautiful silence as we're all connecting. Thank you for bringing yourselves to that. We're gonna now expand our circle to share with each other. So I invite you to create groups of 3 or 4, just small groups around you, and I invite you to share with each other what the experience has been like, what you have noticed or observed, how you're feeling, what's it like, what memories or stories. So this is taking our own individual connection and seeing how we are now connected to the stories and experiences of those around us. So find a small group. We're going to give ourselves about 10 minutes. You can just chat 3, 4, 5 and share with each other what it's been like. Hello, hello. Um, Man, I love the buzz. It's hard to pull people together after a good buzz. All the profs are nodding. Yeah. Yeah. Um, what a great buzz. And I hope that you've had an opportunity to share your connections, your experiences, your stories with your gift with one another. So to close, I'm inviting you, if you're comfortable and want to bring your gift to the circle, the center. It's sort of a reminder that we all share this one planet that we are on, that we all share, and that my pine cone is connected to your feather, is connected to your rock, is connected to your flower. We're all one. Diverse, many different experiences and stories and faces and gifts, but one planet. And that our actions shape each other too, right? So my prayer affects the prayer of the earth, the prayer of the pine cone, your prayers, your actions. So I invite you in a few minutes to come if you want and feel moved to contribute to the circle. Leslie was telling me, just learning things, that this is called, one way to view this would be a mandala, and that a mandala is viewed as impermanent. And so if in the end you want to take your gift with you to remind you of this experience and your connection to the land, at the end you are welcome to see if you can find what you've placed. It is impermanent and together. And just before we start, Chief Seattle, who was the leader of the Duwamish and Suquamish peoples, was quoted as saying this beautiful, "Humankind has not woven the web of life. We are but one thread within it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. All things are bound together. All things connect." So I invite you, if you want to, it's invitational, to make art together on our one shared planet.
I'm sure everyone is curious to see how our art piece has turned out. So before we take the pieces at the end, we'll all have a chance to maybe have a look as well, and maybe take a picture if you want. But before we do that, we're going to close our community art piece with a group song. So I'll invite Jeanette back up. Oh, are you okay to come up? No. Okay. Myself, Cynthia, Leslie, if you wanted to come up as well. And so the song we will be singing all together is called "We Are Circling," and it is written by Buffy St. Marie. Now, if you've heard the version online, we're going to be singing a very different version. So the music is on your program for those of you who read music. Otherwise, feel free to just sing along with us. So Cynthia's going to be on the drum, And actually, Stephen, would you be able to give me a C? I know we're in the key of G, but we're transposing it. C. We.
We are circling, circling together. We are singing, singing our heart song. This is family, this is unity, this is celebration, this is sacred. We are spiraling, spiraling together. Onward, inward, into creation. Holy mystery, Mother Earth, childbirth. This is Mother Nature. This is sacred. We are spinning, spinning all together. We are singing over the rainbow. This is harmony. This is community. This is celebration. This is sacred. We are circling, circling together. We are singing, singing a heart song. This is family, this is unity, this is celebration, this is sacred.
So just before we close and have an opportunity to have a look at our art piece, we just have a few closing announcements.
First, we'd like. Oh, okay, that's all right. Okay. I would like to thank Jeanette for coming in today. The activity was beautiful. I loved it. I feel like in my group at least, we talked about interconnectedness, we talked about childhood memories, and we talked about solitude. So very different things that came up for everyone, and I'm sure everyone else had very fruitful conversations. It's amazing that what you can get from just 5 minutes of mindfulness from an object from the earth. So thank you. Thank you for bringing that out of us. And also thank you everyone for participating. It would not have happened if nobody participated. So thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. And thank you for participating in this beautiful artwork.
Just a note, for next week we have another incredible event. So we have Professor Judith Newman who will be preaching. And we also have the TST Gospel Choir who will be joining us next week. So it is a Christian service, but of course everybody is welcome to join. So please join us next Wednesday, same time, same place. And we just wanted to put it out there to see if there's any other closing announcements from faculty. Do you want to announce?
Thank you, team. Thank you very much. So I think you got the note that we're going to celebrate a very special gift of the endowed professorship in Buddhist spiritual care today, and great food. So if you can, please join us back here. We'll start about 5:30, and then the reception will be at the lounge beside the library. All are welcome to witness the celebration. So that's tonight. Thank you.
All right, thank you everyone. So if you wanted to come have a look at the art piece, we'll leave it here for a few minutes, and then if you did want to take your gift from the earth home, you're welcome to do that. And we'll put on some music, and feel free to socialize and have some refreshments at the back as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Michael. If you show me somebody.